What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this awesome suburban style mansion. I think that this is one of the prettiest houses that I've ever made. I definitely think it's one of the best looking. It's got so much curb appeal, I don't even know what to say about it. I love this build to bits. It's really kinda hard to make, so I will warn you about that. I'm not going to take too long with this intro because it is going to take quite a while to build. Here are some other shots of the house that you can take a look at whilst I'm talking. If you do enjoy this house, please do remember to smack that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you do like this sort of content. If you subscribe, say hello and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, why don't I actually show you how to make this thing, because this is going to be quite a long tutorial. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some hardened clay, some block of quartz, some pillar quartz blocks, some quartz stairs, some quartz slabs, some stone brick stairs, some stone brick slabs, some blue stained glass block, and all of the other materials that you can see in the inventory right now. Plus, we might also grab some other stuff later. It depends on exactly what we do to the outside of the build, but start with these materials for now. Pause the video if you have to, grab everything that you see once you have them, and once you've figured out where you want to make it. And I can tell you that this huge house will fit into a 42 block, that is 42 blocks coming across the front, by a 44 block, that is 44 blocks going towards the back area of land. If you make that exact same shape in your world, then we can begin in the same position. And if you do that, begin on the front left hand corner of your big rectangular shape. Count in from this corner block. You want to count in upwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then count to the right by 1 and 2. And if you've made the same shape that I have, and you start in the same position, then we will be making the house in the same dimensions, in the exact same parameters. You don't have to if you don't want to, it's up to you. Well, on this position, you want to start off with a row of 19 stone bricks going to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You then want to take this 19th block and move backwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then move to the right by a further 19. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then take this 19th block and move backwards by 20. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then take this 20th block, extend it all the way across the back of your build, and the goal is to connect it back to where you very first started. So if you line it up to where you started, I just have to add one more block, and then you connect it to where you started, then you should be quite successful in creating the base shape of our mansion. So that is the shape that you're looking for. It looks very simple now, however, it will very soon become quite detailed. You guys will love it. So once you've got that sorted out, this is what we are going to do next. So we're going to start off by taking the front left-hand corner of the mansion, and we want to raise up the, I said front left-hand, but I meant front right-hand corner of the mansion, and extend it up by 11 with the hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Most of the mansion will not get any bigger than this. Take this 11th block, extend it backwards to the back right-hand corner of the mansion, like this, and connect it down to form a solid wall like that. You can then fill this wall in with your hardened clay. That will take a little while to do, but it will be well worth it once it's done. And not only are we going to be doing this on the right hand side of the build, but we will also do this on the left hand side of the build. I will note that if you want to add additional windows onto your build, then The only place that you can really add them are on the sides, as I have predominantly left the sides of the build blank. The reason for this is because I want there to actually be room inside of the rooms to place stuff against the wall, and it's difficult if you have windows everywhere. It's kind of difficult to place stuff against the walls, so it's kind of to your own tastes what you want to do. So fill that wall in completely with hardened clay. Do a similar thing on the left hand side. If you come to the front left hand corner this time and raise it up by 11 with the hardened clay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then if you extend that 11th block backwards and connect it down to the back corner of the build, then you will have 2 solid walls once you've filled them in. Because like I said, you also want to fill this particular wall in with hardened clay. So that will once again take some time. I'm currently debating as we make this whether or not I want to begin on the front or the back of the build. Each one of them are both really quite detailed, and I'm just really not sure where I want to start. There's so much to do with this build that I just don't know what to do. I think that we'll probably start with the front though, because that makes most sense, doesn't it? So we'll take care of the front and then we'll work our way to the back. No need to get ahead of ourselves. There is a lot of detail that we have to add to the front of the building that is going to take quite a long time. As a matter of fact, just filling these walls in have taken quite a while already. So, we want to have something which should, so far, look like that. Perfect. Once you have that taken care of, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you want to do next. So, can you see here where we have this indentation in the front center of the building? You want to take this corner block and place a hardened clay. You want to place that hardened clay and then go right of it by 2. 1, 2. Place a pillar quartz block in this position. Leave a gap of 2. Place another pillar quartz block. Then raise up each pillar quartz block by 1. Place a blue stained glass block on top of each one of them, connect them together in the center, and then place a row of quartz slab in front of the upper half of glass block. We then want to do 2 rows of hardened clay on top of the glass. That's 1 row and then 2 rows of hardened clay. Take the left hand hardened clay and the right hand hardened clay and do rows of 4 pillar quartz block on top of each. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. We then want to do an upward inward diagonal with each one of our pillar quartz blocks like this, and then we want to place hardened clay on top. You can then actually take that hardened clay, extend it all the way over to the right. It will connect to the right hand side of the building, and you can even connect it over to the left. If you just do a straight beeline to the left, if you don't move it forwards at all, you can actually just connect it all the way over to the left also, like this. So this is the sort of shape that you'll end up with. Now, we want to place a layer of blue stained glass underneath each one of the 2 upper pillar quartz blocks. Place a layer of quartz slabs underneath those, and there you will have a nice walkway. So once you've got that sorted, we now want to come to the bottom entrance. We want to take the bottom pillar quartz block and go right by 5 with your hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a block of quartz on top of that 5th block. Go right of that quartz by 5 with your upside down quartz stairs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a block of quartz and then connect to the wall using hardened clay. Place hardened clay underneath the window that you've created and extend up each one of the blocks of quartz upwards by 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. You can then fill this area in either using blue stained glass pane or blue stained glass block. And the area that I'm talking about filling in is in between the block of quartz. Then fill in between the door and between the window using hardened clay. Just make everything as high as the window that you've made. Because once you've done that, and I just have to fill in a little bit to the right here. Once you've done that, we now want to add 2 rows of hardened clay on top of the window. So that's 1 row of hardened clay. And then that will be 2 rows of hardened clay directly on top of the window. And then we want to replicate the window that we have down below, except we want the window to be 1 row higher. So in the same position that we have the rows of block of quartz, we want to have rows of 4 block of quartz this time. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Still connect the bottom of the window together using quartz stairs, and then fill in the center of the window using blue stained glass pane. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like that. That is fine. Now, fill in the left hand, like next to the entrance, the left hand part of the entrance, fill it in with hardened clay, fill in between the window and the door that you've just created in with hardened clay, and you'll end up with a shape that should look like that. So that is what you want to have on the right hand side of the building. It's now time for us to add a little bit more shape to this, because it does want to look just a tad bit more interesting than this. So take the front bottom right hand corner of your build. You want to extend it forwards by 3 with the brick. So that's 1, 2, 3, and that's the stone bricks. Extend those bricks all the way over to the left, like this. So we're just connecting things together a little bit, like that. You then want to take the front right hand corner brick and extend it up using your hardened clay. Extend it up until it is as high as the actual house itself, and connect it to the house like this. What you then want to do is you want to take the bottom hardened clay and you want to go left of it by 1, place a pillar quartz block, then place 5 quartz slabs going left of that pillar quartz block, and this is the upper half of the block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a pillar quartz block again. Then take each pillar quartz block and raise them up each by 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Connect them together at the top using quartz slabs. Add a layer of hardened clay on top of this balcony window. Then on top of this, you need a new material. Grab the cobblestone wall. Going from left to right, on top of this hardened clay, you want to leave a gap, place a wall. Gap, wall, gap, wall. Place a layer of quartz slab on top of each wall. Connect them together and extend them outwards left and right by 1. We now want to place a row of hardened clay directly to the right of both windows, like this. We also want to add 3 rows of hardened clay to the left of each windows. That's 1, 2, and 3. These rows of hardened clay want to come up as high as the house. So place them and raise them up as high as the house itself. Connect the hardened clay together at the top, left to right. Place an upside down quartz stairs in each one of the 2 corners of the balcony window and connect them together using quartz slabs. So you want to end up with this shape, like so. We now want to take this row of hardened clay, the very left row where we extended 3 rows outwards. We want to extend it outwards by 1 row using the hardened clay. You can even extend the stone brick right at the bottom outwards as well, like this. What we then want to do is directly left to the row that we've extended out, we want to place a stone brick right at the base. We want to place a row of 9, that's 9 pillar quartz block coming upwards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place an upside down quartz stairs inside of this. Then a quartz block on top. Then an upside down quartz stair. Place a quartz slab on top of that. Extend it left by 1. Place an upside down quartz stair in the opposite direction underneath the slab. Place a quartz block left of the stair. Place an upside down quartz stair underneath the quartz block. Then place a row of pillar quartz block that extends down to the ground in the same fashion that we just did, and connect it down to the ground using a stone brick. So the effect that we are looking for is this. That is perfect. And once you've done that, you can feel free to kind of like just fill around the area in using your hardened clay. So fill around the area. You will notice that you actually can't fill in just above these 2 quartz slabs at the top. That's okay. Later on when we place the roof, we will compensate for that, so it won't look weird Trust me. Now that is taken care of, going directly left of this entrance archway, we want to place another stone brick stairs down at the bottom going left with another row of hardened clay directly to the left of it, like so. We can then connect that row of hardened clay backwards. So connect it backwards to the actual house itself, and this will create the porch area for the house. We also have to add some additional details to the porch in that we have to kind of like give it a floor, and we have to do a couple of other things. So that's the porch. I would highly recommend filling the base of the porch in with stone bricks. I think that stone bricks is actually quite a good material for the base of the porch. I quite like it. Like that. We also have to create a little pathway up to the porch. So maybe like a couple of stone brick stairs in the center, something like that. Maybe a stone brick either side, just so that you can walk up onto the porch. We can change this later. It doesn't have to stay this way. Just on the right of the porch, we will want to place something like quartz slabs here to prevent anybody from kind of like just walking up, and it kind of like fits with the theme of the quartz slabs that we have just in this position. So we could even reduce the... No, never mind. We also want to place a row of hardened clay here in this position, the same way that we have hardened clay kind of like horizontally at the front of the house. We want to place 2 cobblestone wall on top of this with a layer of quartz slab on top of that. We also want to create a floor for the second floor. So coming outwards onto the balcony, we have to create a floor, like I said. That is going to be made out of hardened clay, and it is going to sit in line with where the base of the door is. Or, if you like, just above the first story window. It wants to be made out of hardened clay. As I said, we want to connect the left-hand side to the right-hand side like that. We also want to fill in just behind the pillars like this. So that looks quite good. And we can even add a little bit of detail in here, like we could add a little bit of quartz slab here just on the outside. And we could even add something else. We could even add like another layer of quartz slab here just so that nobody walks off. It's just a little bit of added detail. Another additional idea is that we could just add like just a row of quartz slab just in this position, and we can kind of have like 2 rows like that, if you like. It doesn't look too bad like that. So once you've got that taken care of, guys, we can now move on to the left-hand side of the house. That's a pretty difficult part of the house to do, to be honest with you. If you've managed to do that, then well done. It's kind of tricky. So now we want to travel to the very left-hand side of the house. We want to come down to the bottom left-hand corner of the house, go to the right of this corner block by 6 with your stone bricks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go up on top of the 6th block by 4 with the hardened clay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Extend that backwards towards the house, and then fill in this area with hardened clay, like this. Then, on top of this row of hardened clay that you've now created, do a row of 4 hardened clay moving forwards from the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Extend that 4th block upwards by 1. Then, on top, or rather, left of this block, leave a gap of 1. Place a stone wall. On top of the hardened clay, place a row of 5 pillar quartz block. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then, place a row of quartz slab directly on top of the row of stone wall and connecting from the pillar quartz block to the house. So you want to create a shape, essentially, which should look a little bit like that. Now that is done, we can now create the area that there will be garages. So, if you come to the front of your build, where you have this row of stone brick with hardened clay on top of it, you want to take this upper hardened clay, the one that we connected back to the house, and you want to go right of it by 12 with the hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Connect that 12th block downwards to the ground. Take that same 12th block and extend it right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend that down to the ground. and then extend that 6th block backwards to the house and fill completely underneath it in with hardened clay. So completely fill it in with hardened clay like this. That is perfect. And what you can also do is you can actually add a layer of quartz slab going all the way around the top of the hardened clay that you placed, and this quartz slab can come all the way around and it can wrap around the entire left hand side of the house until it comes about here, like in line where you have the upper row of quartz slab. So kind of about there is a good place for it. Now, once you've got that sorted out, we have to actually create the garage doors. The garage doors sit inside of these two empty rectangular spaces. They sit one row inwards, and we're going to start on the left here, and we need quartz stairs and pillar quartz blocks. So, coming from the left, sat one row inwards, we want to go right and follow this pattern. Do 2 quartz stairs, pillar quartz block. 2 quartz stairs, pillar quartz block. 2 quartz stairs, pillar quartz block. 2 quartz stairs. Move through the garage, 2 quartz stairs, pillar quartz, 2 quartz stairs. There you go, you've hit the wall. We now want to extend up each one of those pillar quartz block upwards until they are, say, as high as the clay that is all around. There we go, until it's as high as the clay. Then we want to place an additional layer of quartz stairs on top of the base row of quartz stairs. Add a layer of sideways pillar quartz block on top of the stairs like this. Like that. Then add a row of black glass on top of the sideways facing pillar quartz block. Like that. Then add something on top of that, so like hardened clay or sideways facing pillar quartz block or whatever, to give the glass something to grip onto. You can even fill in the gap in between the 2 garage doors on the inside to make this. It really doesn't matter what you do as long as you end up with this very exact same shape that we have there. That's fine. Well, as soon as you got that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, we can now move on to what's on top of the garage, which is a nice balcony, a great feature for the house if you ask me. So what we want to do basically is we want to take this hardened clay that has another hardened clay on top of it and all of these pillar quartz block. We want to take this base hard clay, we want to extend it to the right by 2, 1, 2. We want to extend it towards us by 1 block. To the right by 8, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend it backwards by 1 block. Right by 2, 1, 2. Then extend this block backwards by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can then connect it all the way over to the right, like that. It should connect perfectly. And then you can extend that block upwards until it is as high as the rest of the house. And as a matter of fact, you can then take the block that is as high as the rest of the house. You can go left of it by 1. Do a row of 4 pillar quartz block underneath it. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Place a row of 3 upside down quartz stairs left of that bottom block, 1, 2, and 3. Then place a pillar quartz block to the left of those 3 upside down stairs. Extend them upwards until they are as high as the right hand side of the window. Connect things together to the right using block of quartz. Place upside down quartz stairs in front of the top frame of the window, so in front of the top left hand corner, top right hand corner. Connect them together in the middle using quartz slab, and then place, say, blue stained glass pane in the window to actually, well, fill out the window. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Now, fill in underneath the window using your hardened clay like that. Fill in left of the window, coming up as high as the window, and then place a layer of hardened clay on top of the window. So you've kind of like boxed the window in like that. That looks perfectly fine. So once you have your window sorted out, this is what you want to do next. So first of all, we want to come to the front left-hand corner of the balcony, which is this block. And on top of this block, we want to place a hardened clay with 5 block of pillar quartz block on top of it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come to the front right-hand corner, place a hardened clay, and 5 pillar quartz block on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then on top of this corner block as well, hardened clay, 5 pillar quartz block, coming upwards like that. And then we want to find a way to connect all of these blocks together. So we want to connect the lower half of the pillar quartz blocks together using a series of quartz slabs like this. So we want to connect them together in this sort of fashion, just connecting them together, like snaking around using quartz slabs like that. So we want to have something which should look like this. And we also want to, using cobblestone wall, we also want to connect everything together as well. So like a cobblestone wall here, and like here, here, here. Basically, you just want to have a cobblestone wall anywhere that you see fit, where it really isn't like touching itself. So it wants to have a block every other block. It wants to have like a gap every other block, if that makes sense. So you just want to have something which should look like this. We also have to create a base for our actual balcony. So I'm just going to create like a stone slab area that you can walk around in. I'm going to fill in the area where we have the hardened clay with all of the like stone wall and what have you on it, and I'm just going to extend this backwards using the stone slabs like this, and that is just going to create a way that we can actually walk outwards from. So something like that is great. But what we also want to do is we also want to connect the pillar quartz blocks together. So using our hardened clay, we want to use our hardened clay in the same sort of way that we placed the quartz slab, and we want to create a nice snaking hardened clay path that will connect everything together. So we want to have something which should look like that, right? That's great. You can even place a layer of quartz slab all the way around this, going all the way around it, kind of like snaking around the outside of it. As a matter of fact, what we might do is we might make it a solid shape. So let's say that we can like beef this up a little bit, so we can beef that up so we can make it a solid shape, a nice big sort of like rectangular shape, and then we can add our quartz slab around it. So if you just use hardened clay to kind of like reinforce the shape, then that would look quite good. So it'll actually look like that. That looks quite nice. It adds a little bit more of an effect. You can even connect it down to the pillar quartz block. Like instead of using quartz slab, use say like upside down quartz stairs, so it looks better entwined with the pillars. It's just a very small minor detail that you might like to add. So maybe something like that. That looks quite good. We also have to create like a little roof area here. So above the garage, I'm going to use a layer of stone brick slabs that is going to sit on top of the hardened clay around the outside. So I'm going to create a layer of stone brick slabs like this, yeah? And then I want to kind of like, I want to fill in this area just on the left with like a single layer of slabs like that. But then I kind of want to like add, I want it to be one row higher in some places. So I want to form a nice roof like this. So I want to form a multi-tier roof using these stone slabs in this sort of way, and I might even have them like come up as far there, and I might even have it in that corner. So maybe something like that, and that's a pretty decent looking roof if you ask me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Something that we have to do now is we have to create an entranceway out onto the balconies. So what we're going to do first of all, we have a wall here on the right, and we have a wall here on the left. I'm going to add a layer of hardened clay on the left wall. I'm going to add this pattern of blocks. I need blue stained glass paint for this. I need to have a block of quartz coming in from the left, an upside down quartz stair, a block of quartz. And on the right, block of quartz, upside down stair, block of quartz like that. I want to raise up each one of the blocks of quartz until they are as high as the surrounding hardened clay. I want to place quartz stairs in between the two pillars of quartz block, and then I want to place blue stained glass paint in between, like this. Then I'm going to place hardened clay in between the two block of quartz up at the top, and there we have a pretty high entrance. You can even fill the top of this in with hardened clay if you like. It's not really necessary. It won't really do too much, but you can absolutely add that if you like. So all in all, what we will have at the front will look like that. That has taken us quite a long time. It looks great though. It looks fantastic. Now, that is the front. mainly complete. We're now going to move towards the back. We're going to add some details there, and then later on we will tackle the garden. Yes, the dreaded garden. So once you've got that sorted out, move your way towards the back of the house. Here. So we're going to start in the back left-hand corner of the house. We're going to start all the way back down here. We want to take this hardened clay at the back of the house. We want to move to the right of it by 3 with the hardened clay. 1, 2, 3. Like that. We want to place a block of quartz on top of that block. We want to place 5 upside down quartz stairs going right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a block of quartz. I'm going to extend each quartz upwards by 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I'm going to fill in between these using blue stained glass paint, like this. Then I'm going to place a layer of 2 hardened clay on top. So that'll be 1 layer of hardened clay on top of this, 2 layers of hardened clay on top of the window. I then want to take the left-hand hardened clay, the right-hand hardened clay, and I want to place a row of 4 block of quartz on top of each. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Connect the bottom together using upside-down quartz stairs, and then place rows of blue stained glass paint on top of the upside-down quartz stairs, like this. Fill in underneath the windows using hardened clay. Fill in to the left using hardened clay, left of both windows. Fill in on top of the windows using the hardened clay as well to create this sort of shape like this. What we then want to do is we want to have a gap of 3 going to the right of both windows using the hardened clay. That'll look like 1, 2, and 3, like that. I'm now just going to fill in these rows using the hardened clay. And believe it or not, guys, the back of the house is quite a bit easier than the front of the house, although there is quite a bit of detail here as well. So, like that. We then want to, starting at the base of that 3rd row, we want to place a pillar quartz block, leave a gap of 2, pillar quartz block, extend each pillar quartz upwards by 1, place a blue stained glass block on top of each one of the pillar quartz, connect it together, do a row of quartz slab in front of the lower half of the glass. We then want to place a row of 2 hardened clay on top of this back door. Then take the left-hand hardened clay and the right-hand hardened clay and extend it upwards each by 4 with the pillar quartz block. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place glass in between these 2 blocks. Place pillar quartz block on top. Place quartz slab underneath that. I almost said upside down quartz slab. Don't know why. Then fill around this little upper entrance in with a hardened clay. Like this. What we now want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we want to do 2 rows of hardened clay to the right of this. So that'll be 1 row of hardened clay, 2 rows of hardened clay, like that. That is perfecto. Now, here's where things get a little bit trickier. We want to take the bottom front left-hand corner of the back, if that makes sense. This back corner block here, we want to extend it forwards by 3 using these stone bricks. That's 1, 2, 3, like that. We then want to go right by 1 with the stone brick. Then we want to place a hardened clay on top of that stone brick. We want to go right by 9 with the quartz slabs, the upper half of the hardened clay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place 2 hardened clay going right, 1, 2. Connect those 2 hardened clay down to the ground using stone bricks and connect them over to the left also. Then we want to extend up these 2 hardened clays upwards until they are each as high as the actual house itself. So raise them up until they come all the way up like this. Raise them up until they're as high as the house. Take the clay that you have on the left, raise it up as high as the house also, and also raise up a row directly to the left of it so that we have 2 columns like this. We then want to extend these stone bricks at the base down. So where we have these stone bricks down at the base, where hardened clay is attached, we want to extend them to the right by 1 with the stone bricks. Do 2 stone brick stairs, then do 3 stone bricks, 1, 2, 3. Connect them back. Fill in the base of the porch here using stone bricks like this, since this has to be filled in sometime. Might as well be filled in now, like this. So just fill that in. We also want to create a column of hardened clay on top of these two end stone bricks. So we want to create 2 rows of hardened clay that are as high as the house once again. So it wants to look a little something like that. We also need to create a floor for our balcony. Our floor sits just below where the entrance onto the second floor is. So I'm going to fill this in with hardened clay, and it's going to come out as far as the balcony. So this will actually create a good midway point in the balcony also, where we'll be able to place some posts and be able to place a couple of things just to add a little bit of detail to the balcony. So we just want to create some hardened clay. We want to fill the base of that in. Also, we want to connect the front of the house or the back of the house to, we want to connect the house all the way around the top of the porch that we have coming out of the back. So we want to connect all of that top row together like this. We also want to place a couple more rows of slab at the base of the porch on the left and right, just like this. Like that. Just adds a little something. On the upper part of this, we want to create the sort of effect that we've created a few times already using like the cobblestone wall and stuff. So we want to like have cobblestone wall here on the left and cobblestone wall here on the right. We also want to have like this sort of pattern here coming out of the back of the porch. We want to have kind of like this sort of pattern every other block. We also want to have our quartz slabs going all the way around the back of the porch like this on the upper level. It wants to remain level going all the way around the porch. So it wants to remain level on top of the wall and wherever there's no wall as well. So it wants to create this sort of effect like that. And once you've got that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much like the back porch. That's one of the main parts of the house. But this house does feature a pretty hefty greenhouse, so we're going to have to take care of that next. So, come all the way down to the back right-hand side of the house. You want to go left of this hardened clay block that you have on the right-hand side of the house this time. Go left of that hardened clay by 6 with your hardened clay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then place a quartz block to the left of that. Go up on top of that quartz block by 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Like that. You then want to leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, and 3 in the ground, and then create another row of block of quartz, equal in height to the row that you've just created. Connect the bottom of that row of block of quartz all the way over to the left, towards the right hand side of the porch. Going left and right of these 2 rows of block of quartz, you want to have rows of glass. So we want to have rows of 4 glass going left and right, and they actually want to be 3 rows high. So like 1, 2, and 3, 3 rows high, and they want to come 4 rows outwards. So that's already 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. And that is what it wants to look like. We want to have these 2 series of glass windows on the left and right, because what is on the back of the house, as you might or might not know, we have a big conservatory on the back. That's what this is. So we want to have those 2 windows like that. Fill in the back of the house using hardened clay as high as where you have the windows. So as high as where you have the windows and as high as you have the entrance, fill in as high as that using your hardened clay. We now want to take out our, what do we want to use for this, ladies and gentlemen? We want to use a specific material for this. Let's say we want to use our block of quartz, and we want to start 2 rows inwards from the back corner of the house. So we want to leave a gap of 2, and we want to place a row of 3 block of quartz coming out of the back of the house. That's 1, 2, 3. We then want to place 2 bottom left diagonals coming out of that row of 3, 1, 2. We want to go left by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, connect back to the house. So, the effect that we're looking for should look like this. That's pretty decent, isn't it? That doesn't look too bad. On top of every single block of quartz that you just made, add a row of 4 glass block on top of it. Any color glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. so on and so forth until you have all of that filled in with glass. We will then determine whether we want to add an entrance. We'll add all of the detail in and all of that fun stuff after we've added the glass. Oh, I would also make the floor of your conservatory quartz, just because there's just not enough quartz in this house. I think that quartz is a nice addition to it. I like block of quartz, one of my favorite materials ever. I think that it's a good, nice addition to the house. Completely up to you. Fill in the base of your conservatory with whatever you want, or don't make it, or just leave it blank. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. I like the block of quartz for the conservatory. So, once you've got that sorted out, we're now going to grab our stone bricks. I've just thrown them away. Going to grab our stone bricks, and we're going to do a layer of stone bricks on top of the glass that we have. So on top of the rows of 4 glass, we're going to add a row of 4. On top of the 4 rows of glass, we're going to add a layer of stone bricks. Like that. That looks pretty decent, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. So once that's sorted out, we now actually want to connect those bricks together, left and right. We have to connect them together left and right, and we want to fill them in with stone bricks. So this is actually going to also be a balcony. It's going to double as a balcony for the second floor, and we want to be able to walk directly onto this, and this is going to be the floor that we have, stone bricks. So what we now want to do is we want to raise up the back of the house using our hardened clay until it is in line with the stone bricks that we have. So we want to smooth things off, and we just want to raise it up so that we have our hardened clay like that. Then, where the stone bricks connect to the house on the left, you want to do a row of 4 hardened clay, or a row of 5 hardened clay going right from where the stone bricks connect. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that confusing? Can you tell where I've done that? We then want to go up on top of the 3 hardened clay, and we want to do 3 rows of 3 glass panes. So that's 1 row, then that'll be 2 rows. Oh, hang on. And then 3 rows. So that's 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So 3 rows of 3. Then I'm going to do a layer of hardened clay all the way around this window, like this. Then I'm going to take the top of the window and the bottom of the window, and I'm going to place quartz slab coming outwards, like so. Then I have to create an entranceway. So right where this window is, I want to have a row of 4 pillar quartz block coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is as high as the window. We want to leave a gap of 3 in the ground and have another row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. I'm going to place upside down quartz stairs in front of the top pillar quartz blocks. I'm going to connect the pillar quartz blocks together using blue stained glass block, and I'll connect them together using quartz slab, like so. I'm also going to place a pillar quartz block down in front of the base of the entrance here, just to create a nice effect. I'm now going to do a layer of hardened clay all the way around the entrance in this fashion. We can now add another window. So I'm going to take the bottom hardened clay, I'm going to connect it to the right like that, towards the back of the house. I'm going to then do 3 rows of 3 blue glass to the right of the entrance. 1 row, and then 2 rows, and then corner rows. There we go. Then I'm going to add hardened clay going all the way around the window, and I'll also fill in this particular back part of the house with hardened clay now that we have added all of the details to it. I'll even fill in between the back porch and the window onto the balcony, so like that. And I'm also going to place quartz slab in front of the bottom of the window and in front of the top of the window. So I want to have something which should look like this. Now, the only couple of things that are left for this particular back part of the house is I want to add some rows of quartz slab coming out of the back of the balcony. So I'm going to start at the base of the balcony, and I'm going to add a layer of quartz slab that goes all the way around the base of the balcony. When I say around the base of the balcony, I mean that it kind of like snakes around the base of the balcony like that. Half a row higher, leaving a half gap, I want to create another row of quartz slab. This creates a level of depth, it increases the amount of detail in the build, and it just looks a little bit nicer, like that. Now, I'm going to come all the way up to the top of the balcony. I'm going to take the lower half of the row of stone bricks, and I'm going to do a row of quartz slab in front of the lower half of stone bricks, so like this. And half a row higher, leaving a half gap, I want to create yet another row of quartz slabs that, like I said, is like half a row higher, like this. So we want to now have something which should look like that. It's pretty nice looking, a balcony, if I do say so myself, and I do say so myself. So what can we do now? Well, we can add an entrance coming out of the conservatory that we've created. If you do find that you want an entrance, all you have to do is knock through the glass like this. Maybe knock into the quartz block. Maybe add a quartz stair. Knock left and right of the stair. Maybe use some pillar quartz block or something like that. Add a row of quartz slab on top of that, and there you have an entrance coming out from your balcony. You can make that wider, smaller, reposition, wherever. It doesn't even need to exist. It's completely up to you. That, however, is the conservatory on the back. And that concludes most of the detail of the house. That is all of the hard bits. I would say all of the hard bits done. I'm just having a very quick look at the house now to see if there's anything that I've missed other than what I know needs to be done next. And as a matter of fact, I think that that is just about everything. So, the next little bit that we're going to do, and just to show you the back of the house again. There you go. Beautiful. We have to add a chimney on the right hand side of the building, maybe even the left if you want to have two chimneys. Chimney, very easy. Basically, take out your hardened clay. Somewhere in the middle of the right hand side of the build, do a row of 3 hardened clay at the bottom. So somewhere in about the middle of the build, that's the middle-ish. Do a row of 3 hardened clay. Extend this row of hardened clay upwards until it clears the top of the house by a nice little margin. Like, yeah, about there, maybe even a little shallower. Raise up all of the other hardened clays until they are as high. Plonk one on the top towards the middle. Extend it 1 row over so that it actually comes into the house and where the roof is going to be. And there you will have a very, very easy, great looking chimney. You see, that is just going to add a bit of detail. Like I said, add another on the other side if you like. It also gives you an excuse as to why there are a lack of windows on that particular side. Just saying. So, we have to create, sadly, I don't like doing this. I don't like roofs. They're not my thing. We have to create a roof. So, how do we do this? You might be wondering to yourself. So, can you see where we have this row of quartz slab on the front of the house? Yeah, around the balcony. This row of quartz slab actually wants to go all the way around to the side of the house. It wants to wrap around the front of the house, all the way around the front of the house in this sort of fashion. It wants to dip in and out, and it wants to come all the way to the side of the house like that. So you can see that it now pops out of the front of the house, yeah? We then want to take the quartz slab that pops out the right hand side of the house, and we want to have 1 row above and just 1 row above and 1 row inside. We want to have a quartz stair poking upwards. We then want to do that 2 more times. So we want to have a quartz stair, 1 row upwards and 1 row inwards in relation to the previous quartz stair, like this. So if it extends out the side of the house like that, you have 3 upward diagonal quartz stair. You then want to top this off by placing a quartz slab on top of that quartz stair and extending that slab towards where the chimney is. It should connect to the chimney perfectly like that. We want to do a similar thing on the back of the house and the left-hand side of the house. So if we come to the left-hand side of the house, we want to make sure that we're starting in the same position as we did on the opposite side of the house. And we want to place the same quartz stair in the same position. You should be able to just eyeball it. And then you also want to have the 2 additional diagonal stairs. So you want to have 3 quartz stairs coming upwards and backwards diagonally, like that. You then want to place a quartz slab on top and then extend that quartz slab backwards about midway back towards the house. Once you've done that, we can now create the back part of the roof a little bit. So if we come towards the back of the house, we want to take the upper row, the hardened clay, and we want to do a row of quartz slab that is, again, like on the upper half of the row of hardened clay that comes all the way around the house. And where does the roof begin? The roof actually starts if you look on the back of the house, it actually starts in this position here. So like where the porch ends and like where the actual entrance is built into, this is where the roof begins. So we can now begin with our rows of quartz stairs. We want to once again have 3 diagonal upward trending quartz stairs. Oh my god, I'm so bad at placing these. We want to have 3 upward diagonal quartz stairs coming towards the front of the house in this sort of fashion like that. On this side of the house, and you also want to place a quartz slab on top of that house stair, and then extend it backwards, delete the original quartz. So we want to have something which should look like that. Yep, that is perfect. Or maybe even start at 1 row in front, like actually where the actual porch begins. Yeah, we'll start at 1 row closer, actually, just looking at that, just modify it a little bit. Then, if we come to the opposite side, we can do the same thing. So, on top of the corner block, we place quartz stairs. We then want to place 3 upwards diagonal quartz stairs coming outwards. They also want to overhang the house. That's an important detail. They want to overhang the house as they do on the front. And we also want to connect them together using a layer of quartz slab, such as that. We want the same thing to happen on this side. Ah, yeah, they do overhang. So now you can see that we kind of have the framework for the roof. The roof is fairly simple. So once you have the layer of quartz, the rest of the roof is actually made out of stone brick stairs. So if you connect the left hand and the right hand rows of quartz stairs, left and right, using your stone brick stairs, and then you fill everywhere else in between using either your quartz slabs or your stone brick slabs or whatever you think looks quite good. Just fill in between the rows using, like I said, either quartz or stone bricks. I'll show you what I mean later when deciding between materials. Like, I think that the middle part of the roof, the part that you connect together using the stone brick stairs, I think that is good as stone brick stairs. But where I kind of wonder what looks best is on the very top of the house. I don't know whether to make it completely quartz slab or to maintain the stone brick slabs to kind of like keep it a multi-tone roof through and through coming towards the back. I don't know what the answer to that riddle is, but well, it's kind of up to you, whatever you want to do, but you can see that we now have the rows of stairs. Then all you have to do is fill around like the top of the balconies using your like stone brick slabs. So like around the top of the balconies, where they would otherwise be exposed, connect these stone brick stairs towards the edge of the balconies using stone brick slabs. It's very easy to do, it's very intuitive, and I'm sure that you'll be able to do it without any hassle, like that. We just have to do it like just here above the entrance. We don't have to do it there. I know we have to do some on the back. On the back, we've got this fairly large balcony also, so we can do it here too without any trouble whatsoever. And like I said, anywhere else that you find that tickles your fancy, that you can also do it there too. So there we go. And that just leaves the top of this to be done. What do I want to do? So, guys, do we use... I think I'm going to use the quartz slabs. I think I'm going to fill the top of this in with quartz slabs. I was going to use stone brick slabs, but it struck me that, like, you can kind of see the roof, like the top of the roof from like the ground. You can kind of see it. I think it'd be cool if the top of the roof was just simply quartz. You could even have glass or something. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what you fill the top of the roof in, really. I mean, unless you're on creative mode, you're not going to see it. If you're using this as an awesome survival house, and this would be quite the survival house, then, I mean, it doesn't matter. How often are you going to be looking at the top of this thing? Although you could. I mean, if you're in a mountainous area or something, I guess that it's more than likely, it's more than possible that you could see the top of this thing. It's completely up to you at the end of the day. Once we've filled in the roof and stuff, I don't know why I'm showing this. I guess I'm just hanging in here. Oh, wow. I almost knocked my remote flying. Almost ripped my headphone cables straight out of my computer. Bad things could have happened there, guys. I could have died. Probably not. That wouldn't have happened. But anyway, did you hear the rattle? That was the remote. Anyway, after we filled in the top of the roof, we're going to fill in the holes on the left and right And we'll also talk about the garden. I think the garden's fairly important. Not so much the back garden. I don't care that much about that because you don't see it that much. But the front garden, very important. Well, I can show you how to make a really cool front garden. I think that the front garden is part of the reason why I like this house so much, as weird as that sounds. I think that the front of this house is really attractive. I think that it's a really great looking house, especially the front, like I keep parroting. But the front of the house looks fantastic. It's got a really nice balance of like, I don't know how to explain it. You guys have seen the front of the house. What do you think? Do you like it? I absolutely love it. We'll be taking a greater look at that a little later on. We're going to be adding a nice little walkway. We're going to be adding a bit of a path. We're going to be adding some stone pillars and some grass and some all sorts of stuff. Plus, we'll be doing the drive of the garages, which is fairly important as well because it kind of balances it out. It kind of like gives balance to all of the green and grass and stuff, like just to the left of it having a nice bed of stone slabs. I don't know. This has taken ages, by the way. I forgot how big this house is. I mean, what the plot size for this house is like 40 by 40, and a little bit more than that, like 42 by 44, I think. It's actually a pretty big roof when you think of it like that. There's a lot of blocks to place. Almost too many blocks, some might say. I do say that. We only got this last row to do that. And once we do have this filled in the quartz slab, I should have just fast forwarded this. I might even still do that in the post. Now that that is completely filled in, all of the quartz, I'm now going to just fill in the sides of the roof using our hardened clay. And something that you may want to do, doesn't matter if you don't want to do this, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You might want to extend the chimney out by one additional row, just so that it separates itself from the roof, or don't. It won't make that much difference. It really won't. I mean, you can or you can't. It's up to you. I'm just going to fill in the opposite side now. I'm just going to fill in the opposite side of this using the hardened clay, and then once that is done, we can talk about the garden, as I keep talking about. I do love the garden. So here, we just got the row on top of this to add in, like this. Whoop, that was a bit of a mistake there, boom. So there we go. So those are the sides of the roof filled in, and that's the roof filled in general. Now, to make the front of this house more appealing, I've not really done anything with the back of the house. I think the back of the house is cool enough. The front of this house has a bit of a garden. But first, we're going to extend the bottom of the garages forward. So the bottom right-hand corner of the garage, I'm going to extend it forwards using the hardened clay until it reaches the outer perimeters of the green hardened clay, the layer of, what is it, 44? Yeah, until it comes out as far as the green. You can extend it forwards, you can extend it backwards. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. And once I've done that, I have to add a couple of pillars. So I want to add a path that comes out in front of the house, yeah? So I'm going to add rows of 2 by 2 hardened clay around the front of the house. So just where the garage connects to this wall, I'm going to do a row of 2 by 2 hardened clay like this. I'm going to come to the right in the same position, and about here, I'm going to do another row of 2 by 2 hardened clay like that. I also want the same row just to the right of the house, so a row of 2 by 2 hardened clay like this. I'm actually going to move that to the left by 1 because I want a gap of 4 in between. So you can see that we now have 3 pillars of the hardened clay. Then I'm going to do another pair of hardened clay pillars that just sits 1 row to the left of this pair. So it's going to come all the way to the edge, and they are only going to be 1 block high, and I want to have 2 of them in pairs. So can you see what I've kind of done here? 1 right where the garage meets the wall, 1 on the very end, and then 1 4 blocks away, like that. And then the last 2 pair on the outer part here, just 1 row of hardened clay with a gap of 4 in between them, like that. Yeah, that's great. Now we have to connect these things together. So I'm just going to grab some grass. I need grass for this. I also need some stone slabs, and some stone bricks and some stone brick slabs are actually going to be quite good for this as well, like that. So I also want to connect the front of the house to the pillar that we created like that. So I'm just gonna connect it forward. I also want to connect the pillars together in some sort of way. So like using grass or something like that. I want to connect the pillar kind of like forward like that. Yeah, something like that. I want to create a pathway from the front of the house to the two end pillars. So I'm going to use like a layer of stone brick stairs here that's kind of going to, or a layer of stone bricks rather, that's going to come forwards, and it's just going to sit inside of these pillars like this. And I want one on the left and I want one on the right, and they don't have to be perfect and even and all of that stuff. It just wants to look a little something like that. That's pretty good. And I might even change out some of these stone bricks for stone slabs. So coming upwards and backwards like that, and then coming backwards like that. I'm just going to have some more slabs, and this is going to kind of like pave the way for the walkway that I'm just going to create. So I'm actually going to place some more grass here. Going to have stone bricks. So I want a pretty solid walkway. The walkway itself is actually going to be made out of stone slabs. It's going to be higher in this position. So it's actually going to sit just underneath these stone bricks themselves in this position. Like here. So it's just going to sit in between them. I want it to be lower to create depth. And then once it drops down to stone brick slabs, I want to have some stone slabs. Just kind of like sat once again half a row down, and it just creates a nice little effect. I know that this isn't exactly a block for block tutorial, but this particular part, like, it's just better if you like do this little bit yourself, to be honest with you. Like, just have some fun with the garden of it. We also want to create like a nice little bit of a garden area here. I want kind of like a half moon shape here, like connecting the pillars together. So like this. I think it'd be cool if there was a little bit of a garden here. And I also want to connect these together here, the two pillars, the two hardened clay pillars here. And I'm going to place grass block directly behind them. And I'm going to place grass here as well. So like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. This is shaping up. I'm also going to place stone slabs on top of the hardened clay here. And here. I'm not going to do it to the wall of the garage, by the way. And here. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. So we now have a pretty decent walkway. I'm going to use poppies to fill out the grass. So wherever I've placed additional grass, I'm going to poppy it because I think that will look quite good. Because they're my favorite flower. You can use a different one if you want. If you have a particular favorite flower in Minecraft, then feel free. Oh, we even have to place grass here where there's this empty space. I'm going to place poppies here. Like that. That's pretty good. And now I'm just going to bone meal this area in front. So I'm just going to Shazam! Shazam! Barely any flowers. I've actually bone mealed the wrong area. I didn't want to do that. Whoops. Okay. Bone meal. Please. More flowers. Okay, we don't... it doesn't want to... Flowers! Flowers. It might not do it. No, okay. So, if you, like me, are very unsatisfied with the lack of flowers, you might want to place, I don't know, some other flowers in that little spot. However, this area that I did bone meal, I actually want to use artificial grass here. Artificial grass, I've said this 1,000 times in loads of videos. Artificial grass is basically alternating rows of lime hardened clay and green hardened clay. I like to use this whenever I don't want to place like flowers or plants or trees or blah or blah or blah. I like to... I'm so stupid. I've used lime instead of green. But I basically like to use artificial grass, like I said. Whenever I know that I'm not going to be using any real greenery, I like to use fake greenery like this. I think that looks quite good. And I'd place this anywhere around the house, probably in like a 2-block radius going all the way around the house, or a 2-block circumference. So you can see it's a pretty cool effect. I'd also place some on the right. I'd also place some at the back of the house. But that's a nice little walkway. I think it's actually incredibly important to the house's aesthetic. That's why we kind of like did a little bit of a tutorial for it here. In between the garage, I would simply use stone slabs as the base. I wouldn't use a different block than that. I think the stone slabs is actually quite good for the base floor of the garage. I don't know what else to tell you. That's pretty much it. There's not too much more to this house. Like the back of the house, there's just artificial grass in the actual tutorial version. If you want to check out the original video, I would highly recommend it, or the start of the video to check out the original house, I would highly recommend it. And that will show you all of the nicks and knacks with the house and everything, and I don't know what else to tell you guys. That's the tutorial pretty much complete. Hopefully, you guys have managed to build this house. Hopefully, you will add all of the finishing touches that you will have to add to it to make it into a really awesome house, to either a survival house or a show house or whatever you want to do with it. I'm sure that you can just add some finishing touches, make it awesome. The outside is almost done. You just have to garden it, and then it's just the inside. You'll be able to figure out where the floors go easily. I'm going to leave that completely open and up to you. Whatever you want to do to the inside, I'm going to leave up to you. It's completely your choice. Hopefully you've enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, please do remember to smack that like button. If you managed to make the house successfully, please do smack that like. It really helps me out. It really makes me happy when this video gets loads and loads of likes, if it does. Please do, if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, say hello down there in the comment section and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all of my content sent directly to your sub box. If you do want to have something specific built on the channel, comment down below and make a suggestion. Otherwise, I'll just keep building stuff that I like. If you do want to check out any of the other things that I've built on the channel, check out the card system in the description below. I do all sorts of things on the channel. This is a modern mansion that I've built recently. If you wanted to make this, you would check out the modern house playlist. If you wanted to make some wooden houses, as you can see right in front of me, check out the wooden house playlist. If you wanted to make more modern designs, again, the modern house playlist. If you wanted to make some more suburban designs, check out the Suburban House playlist, like the house that we've just made. If you're looking for a city, check out the City Builds playlist. We have loads and loads of city builds in here. And if you're looking for anything that could possibly go in a public park and more, I just don't know how to individually categorize some of the other builds, then check out the Survival House playlist, the Park Builds playlist. You guys get the idea. Explore the channel. I'm sure you guys will find loads of stuff that you want to make. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you managed to make that house. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one.